So first of all, keep your friends close, but keep your enemies closer, honey. Let's talk about where I've been and what is going on. So first things first, it's probably over a year and a half, if not more, since I've pressed record on this thing and recorded a video. And let's talk about the enemy in the room. Let's talk about it. It is overwhelm, burnout, perfectionism. Okay, so I have been in a deep perfectionism paralysis. It all started with me becoming a foster mommy for my previous foster babies, Snoop and Tiny. You might have seen them on my Facebook, Instagram, in my stories. I had them everywhere. They were so adorable, but guess what? They got adopted. So that's the first update that I have. My foster babies got adopted finally. Unfortunately, not together, but they are both with amazing new families, new owners. So I couldn't be more excited to have been a part of their journey. But now I'm back on my own. And I remember saying to myself, okay, I started this YouTube thing, I got some traction, and then what happened? I stopped, right? I said to myself, as soon as the foster babies are gone, because they were kind of loud, the babies, as soon as the foster doggies are gone, then I'll pick it back up. And they have left almost a month ago. Where are your videos, Shani? Why didn't you pick it up? Well, it's because I started BSing myself. Oh, I need a better microphone. I need a better phone. I need a better camera. I need a better this and a better that. And so when I say keep your enemies close, first of all, you need to identify, ladies, when we talk about confidence, which is, the main purpose of my YouTube channel and my content, we talk about like being the boss of your business but of your life. You need to know the saboteurs, you need to know the enemy, and for me it's perfectionism, paralysis, and it is definitely overwhelm. So as soon as I started saying to myself, I need a better camera, I need a better background, I need a better microphone. First of all, I bought a microphone and it keeps scratching in the back of my voice, so I don't think I'm going to use it. But anyway, I decided to push my enemy and push myself out of perfectionism. So if you can't hear me just right, it's because I have this huge fan right here next to me, because I have a huge light in front of my face and I am hot, hot. You hear me? So I don't have a microphone to isolate the sound. And in order for me to beat this perfectionism paralysis thing, I am forcing myself to record this video with the imperfect sound, with the imperfect background. And another thing, I have a new puppy. That's another life update. But she might start screaming and yelling and like breaking stuff. And she might run around in the background, and we're just going to run with it. So I'm actually facing the enemy by just working closely with it. Know your friends, keep your friends, but keep your enemies closer type of deal. So I'm facing my enemy of perfectionism, and I'm pushing myself to record this video with the imperfect sound, the imperfect moment. Like, people might walk in any second now, and I'm just gonna do it because it's been almost a year of telling myself, when this is this, I'll do this, when this is this, I'll do that. And I think it's good for me to share that, because I don't want to ever contribute to the impression that things need to be perfect for you to make a move, and that people have all their shit together out there on the social media streets, because honey, they do not. Okay, I can tell you, because I've worked with so many brands and so many business owners behind the scenes, from the biggest names to the beginners, and everybody has the same struggles. So now that that's out of the way, let's talk about something else. Okay, because of my paralysis freeze, and to be honest with you, I think, and this is a conversation for me and Vivian, my therapist. So Vivian, help. No, I'm joking. I'll let me calm down. Let's not be so dramatic. But I do think that I burn out. I burn out once in a while. I burn out, and then I take breaks, right? So on one hand, I can tell myself and I can tell you, it does not matter when or how many times you fall behind, or you're not doing the things you promised yourself, you're not putting yourself out there. It doesn't matter how many times you fall off, it only matters how many times you come back. And then come back and don't do it perfectly, just do it. Just pick up the phone, just do something in the moment, make that phone call, make that video, make that appointment, whatever it needs to be, and then put it out there, and then you perfect it later. And to be honest with you, as someone who is a brand strategist and a brand director to many of my clients, it really scares me to put something imperfect out there. But honey, if we're gonna wait until we have the photo shoot done, until we have the perfected video, the edited content, probably it's not gonna happen for another couple of months, right? And that's probably the case with you. So a couple of things that I want to talk about in this know your enemy, beat the perfectionism, beat the overwhelm, beat the burnout video that I'm making. And I'm sorry if it's all over the place. I'm just going off of the mouth based on what comes to mind. But most of the people that I admire that are also in the field of creative or content creation or business women or women in leadership or brand strategists themselves or marketeers themselves do not have a perfect Instagram feed or a perfect brand aesthetic. Their brand is strong because of the frequency and the consistency that they show up in, more so than because it's aesthetically perfect. And I think social media, like everybody, is trying to copy TikTok, and so they are rewarding the more messy type of content, the more messy type of videos, the videos with the bloopers in it, the videos that are recorded just with your phone. Like my favorite people on YouTube, they just live stream. They don't even edit their videos. It's not all produced and aesthetic like it used to be before. You almost needed a whole cinematic production team for your video to be seen. But I love, for example, watching Dylan. Is it Dylan James? Let me see what his name is. Now I need to. It's gonna stay in my head. So now I need to look him up. Anyway, he is a yeah, Dylan James, that's his name. He's all about like healthy relationships, romantic relationships, being the boss, the queen in the relationship as a woman. And he has a lot of this relationship manifestation content, but he started just by live streaming back to back to back. And I love that. So I'm going to emulate that style and also keep it simple, not only for myself, but to like be an example for my clients, the women, the entrepreneur women, the women in leadership that I work with, that we can have respected brands, that we can have respected content without having everything be perfect. And to give you an insight in my way of doing things, I like to have a healthy balance between spontaneous, recorded with the phone type of stuff, or selfies taken with the phone type of stuff, combined with the produced content, the professional brand shoot, the professional video production. So people can see that I have the quality, but they can also, and actually for the majority of my content, they can actually get to know the real me, the messy me, the me that has a huge fan blowing into the audio. And it's okay, I'm still gonna post it, because I think that brand strength is not brand perfection, especially when we are the face of the personal brand. People want to see the homemade, the less perfect stuff in addition to the produced content. So, saying all that to say that I'm back. It took me a while, but I'm pushing myself today, and hopefully it's going to continue. I'm back, and I wanted to do this video just rambling and not wait until I have like the full list of bullet points of what I wanted to say. But I want to do one more thing for this video. And what I want to do for this video is I want to read off some notes because I just came out of a strategy session with a client and we were going over how to start her social media. Okay. So if in the topic of coming back, in the topic of starting back, or if you're just starting from scratch with your social media, here is what I would do. Okay, grab a pen, grab a piece of paper, grab your journal, grab your notebook. Are you ready? Here we go. Okay, so first things first, I would tell you to choose one platform. Now hold up, wait a minute. Am I contradicting myself? I'm always talking about being omnipresent, being everywhere, repurposing your content. I know. But in order to not risk burnout, we know that we are business women in addition to visible women, in addition to leading and impacting women. So we can't do so much content that the business will suffer. So just start simple, nice and easy with one platform. Okay. So if you sell business to other businesses, then use LinkedIn as your platform. If you are a millennial and above aged woman, which is my audience, okay, all of you are 30 plus, um, then Facebook and Instagram for the Caribbean audience is still the strongest platform for you. The beautiful thing is they are linked together so you can co-create on both platforms very easily. And then, of course, somebody's going to raise their car. And then TikTok, if you are looking at international audiences, non Caribbean audiences, then TikTok is high priority in the US and now also in the Netherlands. Now, I'm not saying that for the Caribbean, TikTok is not relevant. TikTok is relevant and growing fast for the past 5, 6 years everywhere. But I'm saying if you need to choose one to start, I'm talking about where would you start? So business to business, LinkedIn. If you are a personal brand and you want a personal connection in terms of you are doing some type of educational business, workshops, trainings, coaching, um, you serve you serve directly to your customer, not B2B, you're B2C, things like that, then I would, for a Caribbean audience, still advise you to choose LinkedIn and Facebook and Instagram as a first, and then LinkedIn as a second, and then TikTok as a third. You see that I keep putting TikTok as a third while it's still fast growing. The reason I'm doing that is because it can be very overwhelming for someone starting out based on the volume and the frequency that you need in the beginning to stay relevant. So that's my advice. Choose one platform first. And depending on the type of audience you have, the type of business you have, my advice I might pick another one for you, but hopefully those pointers would help you, okay? What you're gonna do next after you chose the profile, so let's say it's LinkedIn, you're gonna make some screenshots of the content that you have so far, preferably on your laptop. Okay. Now, if you don't have anything, like now is when you're creating your password and putting your email in, you can skip this step. But if you already did have something, it wasn't really working for you, and you don't have the budget to work with a strategist like myself, make screenshots, preferably on a laptop. Just scroll and keep making screenshots. And then you go to the best friend that we call ChatGPT, and you're going to tell ChatGPT this exact prompt. You are my brand strategist. I need you to audit my profile, see screenshots, and give me clear recommendations. My goal is insert your goal, and my ideal audience is insert your ideal audience. And then you're gonna say, look at my screenshots and please audit my profile for clarity, positioning, and conversion. Rewrite my headline, bio, and about section in a stronger way that aligns with my goals. Suggest what to feature for maximum impact, and give me my first 3 post ideas that speak directly to my audience, spark authority, and lead toward my offer. Write them for me as scroll stopping hooks and short outlines so that I can work with them and create my final post and expand them. That is going to be all that you're typing into ChatGPT and with the screenshots that I told you about. Okay, so if you need to pause this video, slow it down, or even play this video and record a voice note into ChatGPT while it's listening to my voice, boom, there you have it. You have your prompt. Okay, that's what you're going to ask from ChatGPT. This is either you haven't posted in a while or you've been posting and it hasn't been working for you. Okay, next, let me tell you, if I were starting from scratch, or if I were coming back to a page or a profile that hasn't really been active or hasn't really been working for me, what are the types of posts that I would make? So I'm going to give these to you in 2 parts, and then we're going to wrap this video, okay? The first part is what I call the brand positioning type of posts. And the second part is what I call the brand status and relationship building type of posts. Okay. So here are 6 types of posts that I teach my clients or I make for my clients when they're coming back to a dead profile or they're starting from scratch. Post number 1 is going to be an intro post. So this is where you're going to make something like, let me introduce myself, or hey, it's been a while, let's get to know each other, or something like, are you new here? Where, well, this is who I am, right? So it's kind of like you're coming out and announcing to the world who you are, or you're doing it just by renewing who you are because you might have changed a couple of things. The second type of post is a work with me type of post. So this is the type of post where you're telling people, here's what I do. Here's how you can work with me. Here's how I help. The third type of post, and by the way, it's another fun way to do the work with me type of post, is if you make carousels, writing your services on top of photos, because people love seeing that. Okay. Okay, so the third type of post here under this category is going to be why me? What makes me different? So a post like this can start with like, here's why a lot of people choose to work with me. And if you want to be a little bit spicy about it, you can say, here's why people choose me instead of X, Y, and Z. So, for example, if you're like me, you are a small businesswoman, you maybe have a boutique agency, a small brand, but you want to show that you are a small but potent brand. You can be like, here's why people choose to work with me instead of the bigger guys like X, Y, and Z. You throw in a little bit of sassy shade, but in a professional and fun way, okay? The fourth type of post is going to be, who do I serve? And this is where you are allowed, sis. You are allowed to be bold. This is where you're going to tell people, this is who I work with and this is who I don't. This is who this is for and this is who it's not for. Okay? The fifth type of post is going to be the how to book me, how to work with me. So you might have a process where people have to book a free assessment with you, or they have to fill in a form. Maybe you have a survey. Maybe you have some type of intake process before people can start working with you. Maybe there's a link in your bio where people need to book an appointment. This is the type of post to do that. And the sixth type of post under this category is either testimonials, case studies, and examples of your work, preferably with photos if you have them. Okay, behind the scenes photos, a photo of a client smiling at you saying thank you, maybe a screenshot of the before and the after. Maybe it's a photo of you in action on that stage or behind the computer, whatever the case might be. Don't complicate this too much, but these posts are the introduction or reintroduction type of posts. Now, what I like to do here, if the profile has been dead, or the page has been dead, or it's brand new, instead of posting one of these each week or one of these per day or whatever, I batch post all of them at the same time, so that when people look up my name, it's not an empty page with just one thing on it. It shows more credibility if you have a little bit of content going on. So I like to just get those 6 posts out all at the same time, boom, 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 back to back. And then I go back into my schedule of 3 times a week or 2 times a week or whatever. Okay. And then also, I like to pin to the top of my page the first 3 posts that I told you about, because that's what people want to know when they're looking you up anyway. Okay. Then I'm going to go to the other category, which is after you have those introduction type of brand posts, you're going to go to your brand status and relationship building posts. So let me explain these to you real quickly because each of these have a reason. Okay. So, first of all, a good brand status or relationship post is, here is the future of, and then you talk about the industry. So let's say if you are in IT, okay, here is the future of IT in a world led by artificial intelligence. Or let's say if you are a beautician, let's say if you do permanent brows, here's the future of beauty now that XYZ is happening. Or here is the future of public speaking. Here is the future of leadership. So when you are the one talking about what you're seeing coming up in the industry, it is immediately a brand elevation type of content because it shows that you are on top of the industry, that you are the go-to person to follow to know what's coming. So you are the go-to expert immediately in posts that you can, in that type of post. Okay. Here's another type of post. What's happening now in your industry? So what's happening now in aviation? It doesn't matter what the type of year, the time of year is. You can use a what's happening now or what's hot now any time of the year. I love this type of post. Like, what's going on now in fashion? What's happening now in leadership that you need to know about? What's happening now in compliance that you need to know about? 2 things you need to know about what's going on in the accounting world. You know what I'm saying? There's always something, and it gives you that credibility of like you have the pulse on the industry. You know what's going on. Then top 3 mistakes. Here's the third one. Top 3 mistakes. When you talk about top 2 mistakes, top 5 mistakes, top 3 mistakes, it's relationship and trust building, because you can reach people in a vulnerable state of fear, and you can help them avoid that fear. And again, it shows that you know your stuff as the expert. Okay. Here's another one. Here is how to, like I'm doing right now. I know I started this video rambling about everything and nothing at the same time, but guess what? If you've stayed with me so far and you see that I'm giving you exactly what to post in your case, if you have disappeared from social media like I did, it's going to build a relationship when you post or when you create things that are tutorials for free and you give exactly what you know. You're not holding back, you're not clickbaiting, you're not teasing and then disappearing. When you just honestly tell people, here's how you do this X, Y, and Z for free, it's going to build that trust and relationship. Because if your tips for free, if your free tutorial is already this good, this spicy, then I can't just imagine how good the paid version of working with you is going to be. Clock it. Okay, that's how you do that. You don't have to be afraid of people copying your stuff. You don't have to be afraid of people running with the free stuff. Because you've built that trust, they are going to come to work with you when they are ready. So I love that type of post. Okay, the fifth type of post is you're talking about the news. You can do this any day of the week, any time of the year. Open up the news pages or go open up a newspaper, find relevant news in your industry, and you can be like, okay, did you see the last X, Y, and Z that was on the news? Here's how it affects us in this field. And then boom, people are like sharing your stuff and sharing your opinion and putting their opinion below it because it's trending, it's a hot topic. So that keeps you what? Relevant. Okay, now the last one that I want to say is when you're talking about the season. Again, I love this because you can use it any time of the year for each and every industry, but it immediately elevates your expert status, but it also builds relationship because you help prepare people to get ready for the season. Okay, so if you are an island girl like me, at the moment of recording this video, we've got a huge North Sea Jazz Festival coming up. So you could be like, if you serve local business, here's how XYZ industry should be preparing for the season of the North Sea Jazz Festival. Or it could be, here is how XYZ industry should be preparing for the new year. Here's how XYZ industry should be preparing for the summer vacation. Here's what, is there a low season that you know of in your industry? Talk about it. Hey, March is coming up. It's low season for our industry. This is what you do in this season with your business. And people are going to be like, she knows her stuff. She knows me. She's helping me. And that's an immediate brand recognition or status elevator as well. So listen, I hope you enjoyed me coming back with this rambling ass video. And I hope you enjoyed the tips. So if you are not one of the 13 people that were already following me and were already listening to my content or watching my videos, real quick, my name is Shani Summer. I am an island girl from the most beautiful island in the Caribbean, Curacao, of course. I have my own boutique agency for 12 years now. The name of my company is Influence. I serve female entrepreneurs and business women, and I serve corporate brands. I'm a brand strategist, I'm a sales strategist, and I also have done for you service packages. So that is from social media to sales to branding to content shoots to all in between. And I also give consultancy and training in the area of public speaking and camera skills. I'm also the founder of a membership for women in Papiamento. It's called the Confidence Zone, which is where you will get training in public speaking. You will get to listen to my podcast. You will get a huge community of ambitious women all working together on confidence tools and public speaking training. So if you enjoy content in Papiamento, definitely make sure you become a member of the Confidence Zone. And by the way, there is now a YouTube channel for the Confidence Zone because the Confidence Zone podcast is finally coming back. and I'm gonna dedicate that channel to all content in Papiamento. It does not mean that I will not have content in Papiamento here, but this channel is more like what I'm thinking about, what's going on with me. It's a little bit more mixed. And then the confidence zone will really be dedicated to those confidence and public speaking topics, and it will be all Papiamento. Okay? Okay. That is all I have for you today. If you have enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe, do all the things. Help me let people know that we are back, that the videos are going to start coming back again with imperfect sound, with imperfect quality. Done is better than perfect. And yes, we will have some produced content for you as well. All right, I will talk to you later. Bye, honey.